Welcome everyone to another edition of The Score. Wiley Baker with you here. As a reminder, The Score is a sports show here on AACPS TV and the Anne Arundel County YouTube channel, where our Athletes in Action show focuses on a specific team at an Anne Arundel County public school. The Score zeroes in on an essential individual in the life of Anne Arundel County Public Schools athletics, and yes, that can be a principal. Today we do have a great principal here, a new principal at Southern High School in Harwood, Maryland. I'd like to welcome Angie Hopkins. Angie, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
It's an honor and a pleasure. Well, talk to us a little bit about Angie Hopkins. Where are you from, and where did you go to high school and college?
So I'm from the Edgewater area. I grew up in Riva, Maryland, and I attended South River High School in 1992, graduate of South River, and after South River I went to the University of Delaware, earned my teaching degree at the university, and returned to Anne Arundel County to teach at Meade High School for a few years. And then from Meade High School I left the area to go to Florida, returned back to Meade High School, and then I was promoted to assistant principal at Arundel High, and I moved to South River as an assistant principal, was at Chesapeake as an assistant principal, and was promoted this summer to principal at Southern High School.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
All birds in your blood, from the Seahawks to the Blue Hens.
Yes, yes, yes. Uh-huh.
That's awesome. Almost the same colors as well. Almost.
Absolutely. I look great in blue. I look good in blue.
Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful. Well, what got you interested in being a teacher and then, of course, I guess an administrator, and then moving to a principal?
Wow, you know, I'd have to be honest with you. I didn't think I'd be a teacher when I first started my college journey, but I learned over the years of being in college that I really liked working with students, high school age students, and I was able to build good relationships, and I loved the science major, and I wanted to share that passion with students. And then teaching was just supposed to be a temporary career, but I fell in love with it. I loved working with students, and I got into coaching when I started teaching, so I really enjoyed the coaching aspect. And so I just continued my journey from there and learned that I loved being a leader. I enjoyed being with students. I could be more impactful being in the administrative world, and same thing for a principal. I enjoy working with the students, the parents, the community, and building a stronger school.
Oh, very good. Well, before we get into the coaching aspect, talk to us a little bit about you being a student athlete. Did you play sports at South River in Delaware?
I played field hockey and lacrosse at South River. Did not play at the college level, but I returned to being a coach for field hockey and lacrosse at Meade for a few years. And then when I had to leave the area because I got married, I stopped coaching, and I didn't come back to it because I had children at the time when I returned to Anne Arundel County.
So, and then you moved into coaching. What got you interested from your playing career into a coaching career?
I love athletics. I think I love being involved in the school program. I wanted to be more involved with students, and athletics allowed me that avenue to build relationships with students. And field hockey and lacrosse were my background, so it seemed like a perfect fit, and they had open positions, so I joined the team.
Well, how do you, as the leader of Southern High School, how do you connect those students and student athletes, let them know that you've got their back if they do what they're supposed to do? And obviously, I know you're big on the student athlete part, on and off the field or on and off the court.
I think part of it is having clear expectations with the students, knowing exactly what you're expecting of them. I think they're wearing the school's uniform and what that means to you, building relationships with those students, really getting to know them, not just as a soccer player, but as who they are, being visible at their games and in the school to build those relationships further. And just letting them know where you stand, and mistakes happen if it has to happen, and that can be done in a respectful way, in a non-judgmental way. There's no reason to shame them because we're all human.
Now, you have a lot of great coaches, a lot of great assistant coaches at Southern High School. Why, in your mind, is it important for the principal to be a big part of a student athlete's career at Southern High School?
Wow, I think it's the other way around. I think athletics is such a huge part of a school culture. It plays a pivotal role in the culture of the school, the positivity, the high morale of the students, and I want them to know that they're fully supported from a principal aspect. So I think being visible and having those relationships with them, I think all students should be involved in some way. It's just not about athletics totally, but I want to have those relationships with them and being visible and present, that they're important.
Can you relate your career as a student athlete to the students if they come up to you and they want to be a good student in a certain class and maybe that grade just isn't where they want to be? What advice could you potentially give them from your experience in your career?
The advice I use from my career is to build those relationships with the teachers, and seeking the teachers out for extra support, extra assistance. Our teachers want our students to be successful. There's no doubt about that. And I think there has to be that open communication with our teachers and our students about what is needed to make them successful or help them be successful in there. I have 2 children of my own that are very involved in sports too. So I draw from their experiences and what they're dealing with in school in order to help my students be successful as well at Southern.
Here with Angie Hopkins, the new principal of Southern High School, Bulldog Country down in Harwood, Maryland. So good to have you with us once again. And usually the student sees the principal only when something goes wrong. You have to go to the principal's office because you're in hot water, should we say. What do you talk to about your student athletes? And we were just talking about the grades and mixing the grades in the classroom with on the court or on the field. What can you talk to them about your accessibility to them? And of course, now that we know that you're a student athlete, you can really relate to them.
I try to be visible and present throughout the school day. The students see me in their classrooms during advisory time, during lunchtime, to know that they don't just, and hot water is not the only time that I'm visible or accessible to them. I keep that open door policy where I like them to come in and visit with them if they're around my area, hopefully good or bad things, open communication. I really try to build a connection with our students when I'm out in the hallways during class change and learning during lunch times, getting to know them and who they are, and using that relationship piece when they come in to have conversations if we really need to discuss something a little bit further in detail and draw from that and help them guide to see that we could have handled something different or chose differently if it needs to be done. And because I think as a leader, it's holding them accountable, but also helping them grow as an individual in the classroom, on the court, and off the court. And my expectation is if you're a great athlete, a strong athlete, the expectation that your coach sets for you on the court should be visible in the classroom. So on time, respectful. We should be seeing that in the school as well.
And it does come down a lot of times to the decision making.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So helping them learn how to make decisions, how to take a moment and make good decisions that will rise to good decisions, good future.
Absolutely. Southern High School might be the most unique high school in the county due to its size and its proximity. They have great fans down there. The competitiveness is still there, just like one of the quote-unquote big schools. Talk a little bit about the courage, the connectiveness, the competitiveness of the Southern Bulldog student athletes, the families, and the closely knit community that's down in Harwood.
That is one of the most amazing things about being at Southern, is to see that close-knit family, that community feeling. It's truly present in Southern High School. And with the parents coming out, grandparents coming out, we have generations who went to Southern. And that is unique compared to other schools. And we have a strong support or feeder system from our county youth organization as well. Our parents are very supportive and developing strong student athletes. I applaud our parents and our community members because our students have persistence, they have grit, they dig deep to be competitive. And even though we're a 2A school, we are the smallest school, we have programs that are competitive with 4A programs as well, and that's a result of our parents and our community members and what they're giving back to these students.
And like you've given back, you're a local student athlete. You have coaches such as, just naming one because there have been many, Will Maynard as your men's basketball coach. Ray Bowen graduated from the school as well, both basketball players at the school. That has to make you feel really good that not only are you getting the community to surround the student athletes, but the coaches as well who know that school at Southern very well.
Absolutely. I mean, we have many more of our teaching staff, our assistant coaches who are a part of the community, that are graduates that give back to our school as teachers and as coaches. It makes you they have a sense of pride in where they come from, and our students feed off that pride, and it makes them stronger and more competitive because they want to do right by those individuals or make everybody proud.
It really is, and you are making everybody proud. Again, with Angie Hopkins, she is the new Southern High School principal. She's roaring with the Bulldogs down there for sure. Should I say barking with the Bulldogs? And really doing a great job already down at Southern High School. Angie, what final words of wisdom could you give players? Let's talk about the players first, then we'll talk about maybe the coaches, the parents, and the fans. What advice or words of wisdom would you give the players about being a good citizen for the blue and yellow?
I think that you are models, you are leaders within our school and leaders within our community, and there are individuals, other students, younger students who look up to you, and that when you wear the blue and gold, you're representing Southern. You're representing your family, you're representing yourself, and be making good decisions to represent us all well.
The parents, the coaches, the fans, they need, no matter what the age of the fans, but the adults as well, they need to take the lead on that so these student athletes can understand what their role models do.
Absolutely.
They need to follow as well. Do you agree?
I agree, absolutely, 100%. And they have such leadership potential and such a sense of influence on our students that I don't think they realize how much of a leader they truly are and how they set the example for everybody else in the school.
And I think as a 2A school, being a closely knit community, being a small school, the fans are, in a most positive way, crazy down there.
They're
Especially
awesome.
The basketball games, the
Yes.
football games. It gets loud down there.
Exciting and respectful, positive, a lot of energy going on. I can't wait to be the principal and be at the basketball games. The football games have been amazing. We have a new coach, and he's brought a new sense of energy down to the school. It's just exciting to be a part of because great things are happening.
And finally, before I let you go, any short-term goals, long-term goals you'd like to leave us with for Southern High School as the principal?
I'm just looking forward to getting to know all the students and the parents in the community so we can take Southern to where it needs to be, where it should be.
Well, you are doing a wonderful job there with that. We are excited to have you in town, or back in town, I guess. You're a local student athlete here, a local lady, and we really appreciate all that you're doing. We're hearing all great things down at Southern High School. I've been excited to do a number of games down there on both TV
Absolutely.
and radio, and I'm excited to come back down there again because not only is it about the community and about being competitive, but the people down in Harwood are so friendly. Angie Hopkins,
Absolutely.
thank you so very much.
Thank you
It's
for
been
having
an honor
me.
and a pleasure.
It has been. Thank you.
Again, we are with Angie Hopkins. She is the Southern High School Bulldog new principal down in Harwood, Maryland. What an honor and pleasure it has been to have her today on The Score. As always, in honor and memory of my mom, Dee Baker, I'm Wiley Baker. I will talk to you on the court, on the field, or on the air. And again, with another edition of The Score, right here on Anne Arundel County Public Schools Television Network and the Anne Arundel County Public Schools YouTube channel.